Yeah. What's up, you guys? I'm back. So just want to talk to you a little bit about working with anxieties, and we're gonna do this like a how do I say chat to chat, back and forth. Look, I'll tell anybody, there's a million people out there working with anxieties, and while anxieties can be a very very difficult thing to bear, it's not impossible. And I think when you work with anxieties, it's a lot different than when you're working with other disabilities because there's a 90% chance that most people will not see your anxieties. So when people don't see your anxieties and then you have them, the first response is always going to be, "Are you okay?" And look, you got to understand something here. When somebody asks, "Are you okay?" It's okay to say no. I think that's what gets most of us is that we don't want to say no. So we're like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm hanging in there." No, you're not. When your anxieties are bad and you know they're bad, it can be a head turner. Trust me. I think one of the things that we have a problem with in the society that we live in is just admitting our true feelings. I do it all the time here. I work as a supervisor. It's not undisclosed now because we saw where I work, but the main thing is that every day is a challenging day. And I think when you have anxieties, you have to work your mindset up to be able to say, you know what, even though I'm going to be challenged, I'm not going to let that challenge affect me physically, mentally, or emotionally. There's going to be time. There's going to be times when you just feel like, oh crap, my anxiety's coming in. Look, do yourself a favor. Find some place to go outside of the workplace, or if you have an office, close your door, sit back, take some deep breaths, relax, relate. To me, I do four, 7, 8. I take 4 breaths in, hold it for 7, release for 8. Does it always work? No. Could somebody walk in that door right now and throw me completely off my game plan? Yes. Could somebody pop up on the chat and throw me completely off my game plan? Yes. Because I tell a lot of people who have anxiety disorder, one of the things that I think is going on is that they may or may not, I don't know, be suffering with some adrenal issues. And I know myself, I'm going to get checked out for that today. But you the one thing is to breathe. My brother is always telling me, "You're not breathing. You're not breathing, bruh. I ain't purple or blue. I'm breathing, but technically, you're actually holding your breath. It's like a breath of air gets locked into your throat, and it stops the vowels and the consonants from coming up. So you know what you're saying in your head, but it's not coming up from that breath of air blocking it. And so what happens is, in my opinion, only is that when that breath of air blocks it, it's like you're trying hard to force it up. And as you try to force up that breath, what you're intentionally doing is making a spasmodic throat, which is causing more anxieties. Now your mind is thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And because of that, you end up calling a cycle and your anxiety is going to get worse. Look, this is going to sound crazy. Just stop. So the things I'm telling you now about working with anxieties, I'm actually telling myself. So just bear with me because I think it's going to help somebody. And maybe later y'all do the transcript. I don't know, but I think I think it could be a help. This will be a help to somebody. I don't know who, but I'm pretty sure it'll be a help to somebody. So remember, sometimes when you get into that situation where your anxiety, so for me, my anxieties present themselves a little unique, kind of in a unique way. My anxieties come out when it makes my Tourette syndrome be worse. So I'll sometimes have sweating, but more or less, you'll see me having ticks, a lot of ticks, and then I can't speak. So some people will say, well, Carlos, what's wrong? What's going on? Nothing. I need to start being more honest, and I think you do too, and just say, hey, I'm having an anxiety attack, but I'm okay. A lot of times, though, when I say we need to stop speaking, a lot of times you want to force yourself to say something because you're like, nah, I'm going to speak. Dog, I'm not. You're not going to. No, no. Just admit it to yourself and stop. Breathe, bro. It's it's okay. So now I had a slight attack right then, just doing that. I didn't stop. I could feel it, but I did push through. Now there's going to be a small percentage of you that will need to push through. And if that's how you get through your day, then great, push through it. The next thing I want you to do is stay well hydrated. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of people are not drinking enough water and drink good premium water. I started drinking some water that I thought was good, Crystal Geisha, natural spring water, but it's something in that water that's throwing my ticks and Tourette's off left and right. Now, with all that being said, the biggest thing to do to overcome your anxieties is find something relaxing to do. Some days when my anxieties really gets tough, you know what I do, guys, ladies? I come to my office, sit down, and I take my pen out, get a blank piece of paper, and I just draw circles over and over again. Small circle coming out to a bigger circle until my anxieties fade away and I feel relaxed and calm. There are many ways to achieve the dream of being anxiety free. First way is stop worrying about trying to be anxiety free. Anxiety is everybody know what anxiety is. If you don't know it, you don't have it. Being great. Some people say get a less stressful job. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I like to be in the fold, in the midst, in the fire. And then sometimes I honestly be like, look, can I just cover my head and go to sleep? We all deal with anxiety differently. But the main thing about working with anxiety is finding a job that is best for you. Now, I think a lot of times when people working with anxiety, is one of the things that we forget to do is we don't want to be stigmatized any more than we are. But I say to you this: go to a licensed anxiety therapist. That's what I'm personally about to do as well. My anxiety is different because they don't come out. As you can hear me speaking now, it's because I'm live, but I have my camera covered, so I'm not physically seeing myself struggle. I'm not looking back at myself. Something for me, I have a visual acuity anxiety. I'm calling it that, not anybody else. But I have a visual acuity anxiety, and I feel like that makes it difficult for me. So right now, you've heard me speaking pretty plainly, and matter of fact, I'm not going to do that because I'm right now. But just so you'll know, you just have to find what works for you. But go to a therapist, find you a less stressful job, or find you a job where you can say, I found me a job where I can work within my anxiety disorder. The people are really cool here. You know what? Forget that. People at my job are freaking amazing. All right. But I still have fear. And if anybody knows how anxiety is, it feels real. People say, well, it's not real, Carlos. It's not there. Just accept man, you got to be kidding me. You're telling me it's not there when everything else is telling me that it is. Now, I want to go over a couple things real quick because it's about that time for me to end this and go my go about my daily day. But look, do me a favor. Working with anxieties is a lot. Can have a major impact on your workplace, your workers, and the people that you're around. It can make it so promotions are harder to get, or you have less opportunities presented to you. But if you really want to make everything better for you, then I suggest you do this stuff. Simple. The first thing most people don't do, and I did it on the day of my interview, which was scary. Tell your employer. Remember, it's your decision to tell your employer about your anxieties. Nobody else's decision. You have to be the one to step up and say, Mr. or Mrs. So and so, I have an anxiety disorder. Now, some people do this because they need accommodation. You may not be that person, but others do it just for a simple peace of mind to educate those about the condition that you have so that they won't, because you don't feel like hiding your illness. Hey, I have anxiety disorder. Deal with it. And if you can't, I'm not the right person for the position. You got to be bold in what you say. Stand behind your sickness, your illness. The divine source didn't give it to you because you just was an unlucky duck in the pond. The divine source gave it to you because you're the one that can handle this current situation. Now, remember, if you do have a physical or mental disability, and if you're qualified to do the job, Americans with Disability Act of 1990 ADA protects you from job discrimination. Now, being qualified means you must satisfy an employer's requirements for the job and be able to perform essential functions on your own or with reasonable accommodations. An employer cannot actually refuse to hire you because your disability prevents you from performing duties that are not essential to your job. Keep in mind, one of the tips to managing stress at work. Well, first of all, this is why you tell your employer, but you give them an opportunity to understand that you do have a disability. You don't tell anybody. Down the road, they can say, well, we hired you based on the fact that we didn't know. Had we known that you had this disability, we would have never hired you because we feel that you're not able to do what we needed you to do. However, because you didn't disclose it to us and we didn't know, we did hire you, but now we must sever your employment contract. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, you do have a leg to stand on. American Disability Act is behind you. But you got to tell somebody. Stop hiding from your disability. It's only going to hurt you in the long run. Look, I want you to learn how to manage your stress at work. That's another thing. You have coworkers. You need to tell them. There's no need of a coworker thinking there's something wrong. Tell them. If nothing else, maybe have a PSA. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about why you guys see me sometimes like this and others like that. I have an anxiety disorder, and it's not easy to deal with. But I'm going to be here every day of the week. I'm still competent and able to do my job. I would like to educate you on my personal disorder. One of the things that people with anxieties do is anxieties and just get combobulated. Now, I make me a list, a to-do list when I come in, prioritize what I need to do, what I don't need to do. But look, I'm gonna get off this topic for now, but because this is the first time and I'm just kind of rambling without having a game plan. But do me a favor, practice time management, plan and prepare. Do it right the first time, but you got one big major thing that only you can do. Be realistic in your outcomes. If you know you're going through an anxiety prone moment that day, be realistic. Don't go out here and think, okay, I got anxieties, but I'm gonna go ahead and conquer the world. I got a big speech to do, and I'm gonna do it anyway. It not be the best idea. Set boundaries, take small breaks, get up out of your chair, walk around, or your area walk around. Most jobs have incentive programs for people with disabilities. Look into them. And of all things, please get help. Find a therapist. You may say, well, all they're going to do is talk to me. Might be all you need for that day. But guys, I'm shutting down this live. It's been real. It's been great. And until next time, take care.